Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is just a fun breakdown of everything going on ahead of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 13 reunion, who is beefing? What's going on with Kyle? Is she with Morgan? Is she not with Morgan? Is she trying to manipulate Dorit? What is going on? But before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to shop our merch. We have some conspiracy tees. We also have sweatshirts and hoodies and joggers as well. So definitely check out all of our merch. It's linked down below in the description box and it's also pinned at the top. So treat yourself. So with that, let's go. So, first up, let's talk about Dorit Kemsley leaking Kyle Richards' text messages ahead of the reunion taping. Dorit is saying that Kyle is trying to silence her and that she's being manipulative and calculated. I kind of go on the fence with this. I have a little bit of an unpopular but popular opinion, and I'll get into it. But I understand why Kyle sent the text. Do I think it's right? No. But do I understand why she did it? Yes. But let's get into it. And then I also have the text messages. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Dorit Kemsley is seen sharing a text message sent to her by Kyle Richards while Erica Jane was backstage at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion in a just released sneak peek at the upcoming 3-part special. As they prepared to take to the set for filming, Erica asked Dorit if she was nervous about the taping, and in turn, Dorit revealed that she was most upset about the lingering tension between her and Kyle, who had recently accused her of exaggerating their friendship. So I do have that clip that we can watch, so we'll watch that in a little bit. You know, there's stuff with Kyle and I that's going on, and it hurts and bothers me. I mean, you obviously saw the press, you saw in the press that things were said where she said, I exaggerated our friendship, Dorit explained. In a previous interview, Kyle had claimed she would only recall going on one trip with Dorit and their husbands, Mauricio and Paul PK Kemsley, and accused Dorit's statements about their friendship of being an exaggeration. So basically, Kyle was like, I don't know Dorit. She needs to keep her name out of my mouth. We're not that close. We're not good friends. Mind you, prior to this, they were besties. It was Auntie Mo, Aunt Kyle with her children. They were going on family vacations. They were, couples friends. Mauricio and PK were very, very close. They were even going to do a reality show together about real estate. As we know, Mauricio said, bye, PK. I'm going to do my own show on Netflix. And then PK went to go do his own show in the UK about real estate, but they were friends. Don't forget, and this is the problem, right? The problem with all of this is that they're not actually addressing the elephant in the room. Dorit can't say Kyle is so calculated and manipulative by sending these text messages trying to silence me, ahead of the reunion. And, oh, she said our friendship was exaggerated without being like, and maybe that's because the entire world thought I was having sex with her husband. And that's why she kind of paused the friendship. On the flip side of that, Kyle, you can't be sending these text messages trying to silence Dorit and telling her to, just curb our issues, don't bring it up. Oh, I love you guys. Well, because I'll read to you exactly what she said. But the entire time you have been cold to Dorit. You did say, I really don't know her. She exaggerated our friendships. Our families really aren't that close. And you haven't been talking to her. You can't do all of that without saying, yeah, because the whole world thought you were having sex with my husband, who I am now separated from, who the entire world thinks it's because he cheated on me, not just with you, but repeatedly for decades. So that's what the big problem is here, is that neither Dorit or Kyle is actually being honest about the why of the demise of their friendship. Kyle can blame it all day long on how Dorit said, oh, Kyle, can you take some responsibility? And you and Kathy last year at last year's reunion, because that's the excuse Kyle gave. She was like, oh, behind the scenes, Dorit was so supportive and said, oh, I understand everything with Kathy. But then at the reunion, she's like, well, Kyle, can you just like take some responsibility? Like, don't do that. Don't do that in public in front of her. Like, do I think that irritated Kyle? Yes. Do I think that's one reason why Kyle stopped messing with Dorit? Yes, because Kyle is petty like that. Kyle is, if you are not my yes person, then I will ice you out. If you're not my yes person, then I will play the victim and act like you're the villain and get everybody against you so then I can have a sob story. That is Kyle, 100%. But do I think that is the core issue? Hell no. And another reason why I say that is because it's not just the fact that there has been a breakdown between Dorit and Kyle's friendship, but there has also been a fundamental breakdown in two things. In addition to that, there's also been a fundamental breakdown between the friendship of Mauricio and PK. Why would Dorit just saying to Kyle, oh, can you take some responsibility in the Kathy situation over a year and a half ago at the reunion cause a rift between Mauricio and PK? It wouldn't. But like Dorit said, we haven't seen them as a couple. PK was making his little snide remarks. He was saying how he didn't see Mauricio. And when they were filming and they had a boys' night, they hadn't had a boys' night in months. What would cause a rift between Mauricio and PK? A rumor that Mauricio was having sex with his wife, Dorit. That is what would cause a beef between two men. The second thing that caused a rift that they're not talking about, it's not just the fact that Kyle and Dorit are no longer friends. It's not just the fact that Mauricio and PK really don't mess with each other like that anymore. It's the fact that now both of these marriages have been on the rocks. Both of these marriages, one has confirmed separated, the second was speculated separated. Both of these marriages, right after the rumor about Mauricio and Dorit broke, both of these marriages have basically crumbled. And I get no joy in that. To me, this isn't a key type of thing. It's not that. So I'm not like reveling in somebody else's pain. I'm not laughing or mocking it. I'm just looking at it from an observer's perspective and talking about it because it is a part of pop culture. So I want to make that clear. I don't get any joy or happiness or a key out of any family or marriage breaking down. Absolutely not. I hope they all get back together and I hope they're all happy, whether or not, I like their persona on a TV show. In real life, I hope they all are happy and whatever that looks like for them and their children, I want them to be happy because they're humans, But I think that is what is truly missing. And I don't think they're actually going to address it at the reunion. So whatever excuse that they're going to use, whatever, weird roundabout excuses they're going to use, it's going to fall flat to me and it's not going to ring true because they're not talking about the actual problem. The actual problem is the rumor last year about Mauricio and Dorit. Now, do I think that Kyle and Mauricio had other problems? Do I think that PK and Dorit had other problems? 100%. Lawsuits, financial problems, cheating allegations all around the world, all of that stuff, 100%. But I think the core demise of these two women's friendship, of these two men's friendship, of these two couples, I think at the heart of it is that rumor. And I think it makes no sense that it was never brought up once in the entire season. I think it makes no sense that they're not talking about it now. I think it makes no sense that they're not going to talk about it at the reunion. The only time they talked about it was last year, being like, "Oh, it's so ridiculous. People thought we were sweet swingers." And the reason why Kyle said it was so ridiculous was out of her own mouth because of how close they are. But now, fast forward, I don't really know her like that. She's exaggerating the friendship. But the reason why you said the rumor of her having sex with your husband was so ridiculous was because of how close the two couples were. That was your whole excuse. Now, I don't know if something came out. I don't know if Mauricio admitted to something. I don't know if Dorit admitted to something. I don't know if there was evidence found. I don't know. But there's a fly in the milk and something ain't right. And that is what is missing to me. You know, Kyle's like, something happened that broke the trust, but she won't say what it is. You know, PK has been MIA this entire season. And the only time he's on screen is basically to tell Dorit how delusional he thinks she is. And when has PK ever missed a party that Mauricio has thrown? Ever. You think it's a coincidence PK just so happened to extend his stay in London for a month and a half and miss the white party? I've never seen PK miss a party, especially with his old pal Mo. So I don't think it's a coincidence that this season, both Kyle and Dorit's marriages are basically in shambles, and the two women are beefing. I think the problem is they're not being honest as to why. Now I'm going to tell you what I think Dorit is doing with this whole text message situation, and then I'll read you guys what Kyle said. What I think Dorit is doing with the whole leaking of the text messages, you know, getting Erica on her side, and we'll watch the little clip too. I think Dorit is realizing I'm on the chopping block for next season. I think she realizes she might be fired because she's boring and she doesn't really have a storyline that anybody's invested in. And she knows that she no longer has Kyle for cover on the show for two reasons. One, because Kyle no longer even has cover on the show. You know, they have been coming after Kyle's neck every single episode. Kyle is on her own island at this point when it comes to these ladies, right? So Kyle doesn't even have cover for herself anymore. How can she now have Kyle for cover for Dorit? That's why Erica jumped ship to Garcelle and Sutton, because Erica was like, I'm going to go where I'm most likely going to be brought back next year for a check and more of my 15 minutes of fame on this show. Is it with Kyle? I don't think so. Is it with Garcelle and Sutton? Yeah. So she jumped ship. And I think Dorit is jumping ship as well. That's why she was like, well, you told Andy Cohen to eviscerate her, and fair is fair, and we're at the reunion. So Dorit is basically saying, Kyle, if you're not with me and going to give me cover, then I'm going to go against you like everybody else so I can cover myself. That's what I really think is going on with her leaking these text messages and all of this stuff. She's trying to make herself relevant. She's trying to give herself a storyline, and she's jumping on the everybody against Kyle bandwagon because she's trying to save herself and she's trying to save her diamond, right? Now let's look at the text messages. Okay. So this is what Kyle allegedly sent to Dorit. Oof, it's a novel. Girl, bye. So she says, and this is right before the filming of the reunion. Hi, I've been trying to reach out because I know we are in a weird place and it really bothers me. And it's not even on the show. And it's not even on the show. Side note. Again, keep telling us this show is fake as hell. Because Kyle has actually been on a complete media tour basically saying this show is fake. She went on Jeff Lewis and said, I don't talk to these women outside of filming. They don't know what's going on in my house. Stop asking. I don't know what's going on in your house. Stop asking. She went on Jeff Lewis and said, I don't know Anna Marie. I met the chick once and then said, oh, she would be a great fit for the show. Read between the lines because they were doing diversity hiring. That's my assessment. Kyle didn't say diversity hiring. Those are my words. I want to be clear. I'm not putting words in her mouth. Those are my words. But she said, I only met Anne Marie once because Anne Marie has gotten so much backlash. So I thought you and Anne Marie were friends, and that's how she got on the show. But you met her once. I thought you and these women, it's a group about friendship. I thought these were your sisters and your friends. But you basically said, I don't talk to you and we're not filming. Keep my name out your mouth. So now she's saying in the text messages, I know in real life, Dorit, you and me are beefing and we're not cool, but it's not even shown on the show. Again, why? Why was the depth of the beef between Dorit and Kyle not shown on the show? I was saying that since last year. I said if they don't actually do a deep dive into what would be actually the most salacious storyline, most cliche trope, you know, two housewives' best friends, and one is cheating with the other's husband. Not to be like, I want to see something dark and evil, but it would actually be kind of a breath of fresh air from all of the fraud and the racism and the transphobia and the this and the that and the sexual and the assault and all. It would be actually sadly, it would actually be a nice break. It would be some good juicy drama, but it wouldn't be as dark all the way down to hell that we've been getting with these reality shows. It wouldn't be fighting and violence and people being deported and frauding people and going to prison. At least it would be some juicy stuff that makes sense in the world of bored rich people having sex with each other. That's juicy. But the fact that they weren't honest about, because they touched on it a little bit, a little bit of here and there, a little bit in the confessionals, but Kyle is admitting herself it wasn't even shown on the show. So basically, what we saw on the show wasn't the truth. So Kyle has just been spilling the tea that this show is fake as hell. Like, at least pretend it's real so we can suspend our disbelief, okay? Let's keep going. And it's not even on the show. I wanted to explain where I am at and why I have been distant, but my hands were tied. Why were your hands tied? Or do you just not want to say, Dorit, I don't mess with you anymore because there was an entire rumor going around that you were having sex with my husband? Whether it is true or not, that is going to have an effect. Whether the degree of truth, was it just flirtation? Was it a kiss? Was it a drunken night? Was it a full-blown affair? Was it nothing? Was it just a flirtation? There's levels to it. The same way there's levels to cheating. There's physical cheating. There's emotional cheating. There's levels to this. It's also who you cheat with. There's levels to it. We are smart over here and we understand nuance. So it doesn't mean that Dorit and Mauricio are in love and they're having this fantasy affair. That's not what we're talking about. There's nuance to things. There's levels to things, right? Of course, some interview comments hurt my feelings and created more issues for me, but I am used to that and I could get past it in time. So Kyle is basically only talking about herself. I also reminded myself that you didn't know what I was going through with Mo at the time for most of these remarks. But then I heard some things that you said about me off camera that hurt me deeply, and I wasn't even able to say what I heard or from whom. Okay, Kyle, this is where you messed up, sweetheart. This is where you messed up. Because do I think Dorit was talking crap about you behind your back off camera? 100%. Hell yeah, she was. Because Dorit doesn't actually really like you, Kyle. I never thought Dorit actually liked you. I thought Dorit used you, faux Fox 5 style. Kyle has been an anchor of the show. She's been coveted by producers. She's been protected by producers. I'm not saying she's a fan favorite, but she has always been the anchor. Not anymore. It's Garcelle now. But I think she always used you. So do I think that Dorit was talking crap about you behind your back? 100%. And you know who I think she was talking about you to? Lisa Rinna. And you know who I think told Kyle? Lisa Rinna. That's just my gut feeling. That's just my speculation. That's just what I think happened. I think Lisa Rinna ran to Kyle because Lisa Rinna wants her check back, her diamond back. And it was like, oh, you're trusting Ding Dong Dorit. Well, this is what she said about you. Bring me back on the show, get me back on, and we can do whatever. Now, where Kyle messed up is this. You're sitting on a gold mine. Is it called a gold mine? A gold mine. I guess that's what it's called. Anyway, you're sitting on gold, Kyle. You're sitting on the juiciest storyline that's not evil. Obviously, affairs are bad, but you know what I'm saying. With the whole Dorit and Mauricio thing that you're refusing to talk about. And you're sitting on Dorit betraying you by saying all this stuff about you behind your back. Why didn't you bring it up in filming? Why didn't you talk about it on the show? Who are you protecting? Rinna? Because I don't think it was Erica who said it to you. I think that this is what I think. It was probably Erica, Renna, and Dorit talking crap, and Renna ran back and told it to Kyle. Because who else would I mean, if they have real friends and off camera, who else would it be? So why didn't you bring it up? Why didn't you talk about it? Why didn't you call her to task? That would have given you a whole storyline. It would have made sense why you're beefing with Dorit low key. And it would have made this season make a lot more sense, because the problem with this season is that it was so surface and so disjointed because nobody was actually being honest. Nobody. You should have just said, Dorit, I feel some type of way about the rumor that you had an affair with Mauricio. Dorit, I feel some type of way, because even if you said, I'm not going to tell me who said this to me, but I heard you said boom, 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 boom. That would have been explosive and interesting. And then that would have been really good to see how this female friendship, because that's another pillar of the show, is these female friendships and dynamics. How do you navigate those issues? The issues of, are you sleeping with my husband? The issue of, you're supposed to be my best friend. Are you talking crap about me behind my back? That would have been an amazing season. Way better than talking about Sutton's esophagus and who's having vodka and who's drinking, and fake lesbian relationships, because we're going to get to that fake relationship. I don't care how much Morgan wants to pat you on the butt and do whatever this performative crap you're doing. I don't believe that relationship is real for a second. That would have been an interesting season because it would have been rooted in truth. Let's keep going. Dun, 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 dun. It was one of those things where I wished I just didn't know at all, because I wasn't able to share, and yet I was left hurt and couldn't even try to work through it with you. Well, that's a you problem, Kyle, not a Dorit problem. Not that I'm defending Ding Dong Dorit, but Kyle, if you are unable to communicate what is going on with you, how is somebody else supposed to be able to fix it? And it is manipulative. Like, I couldn't do anything. My hands were tied and I was so hurt. And you hurt me, hurt me, hurt me, hurt me, hurt me. Okay. Okay. And I know you will be frustrated and want to know what and who said it, but I can't. It's as frustrating to me as it will be to you. Trust me. I have gone through such a hard time to reach. I've been in so much pain, I can't tell you. Never have I felt so low. Okay. This is a thing. I will give Kyle grace in this moment because she did lose her friend to a very tragic thing. She, for whatever reason, she is grieving the loss of a 27-year marriage. You know, whether they truly divorce or not, I don't know. But I do think but the separation with Mo, I do think that's real. So I'm going to give her grace. You know, she is a human being. So I do think she has been in a lot of pain. And I do think she really has been hurt. And I really do think she really has been at a low. And I understand that. But I don't know. But it is, again, it's still almost weaponizing your trauma in order to manipulate somebody into doing what you want them to do. And that's where the manipulation comes in. Because do I think Kyle has been in pain? I do. Do I think she's been at a low? I do. Do I think she has been hurt? I do. And do I think she deserves grace and understanding and love for all of that? I do. But I don't think that she can use that to then weaponize it against somebody else when you haven't been transparent with them about what you're going through. But now you want to say that you're in this bad place in order to basically get them to shut up and play ball. That's where the disconnect is. So I do give her grace, and my heart does go out to her, because I don't care, you know, Kiki, Rally TV aside, losing someone in your life that way. And I know what she said to Sutton about her father, and I know what she said to Lisa Vanderpump about her brother. I know she said those horrible things. I know she did. I know she did. But I can know that someone has done some messed up stuff and still feel empathy and compassion for them. So I will give her that. Also, maybe the person who told her these horrible things, do we think it was Mauricio? Do we think Dorit was talking crap about Kyle to Mo? But then why would Kyle not say that? See, it kind of makes me think it's another girlfriend who swore her to secrecy, right? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think it was Rinna or another girlfriend. I think that if Mo had told her something, I don't think that she would feel like any, like, if your husband tells you something that your friend said, you want your husband has that allegiance to you. So you wouldn't be betraying him by being like, "Yo, why are you going to talk to my husband about this stuff?" Right? So we'll see. Okay. And I know you were also going through a hard time. Normally, I would have reached out to check on you, but I was hurt and very depressed. I've spent 30 years with Mo, married 28, and I have no idea how to live without him or how to navigate through life on my own because I have so much on my plate for tomorrow, and I know you do too. I love you, PK, and your kids so much. I've been thinking about you a lot and hoping you aren't struggling too much. I don't want to lose someone else in my life over a TV show. They don't even know we are going through a hard time, so I don't see the need to bring it up there. Again, Kyle, you are telling the world, well, I don't think you meant to, but Dorit was like, I never liked you in the first place, so I'm jumping ship to save myself and my diamond. I'm going to just expose you. Because to be honest with you, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it like I mean it. To be honest with you, I think Dorit is dead wrong for sharing these text messages. I do. I think Dorit is the bigger snake. I think Dorit is the bigger manipulator. I think Dorit is the bigger sniper from the side in this situation. I really do. I get Kyle trying to be like, hey, I've been going through so much. Can we not bring it up tomorrow? We both have so much on our plate, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But for Dorit to leak it, I think Dorit is the bigger snake. Because Dorit, you can't have it both ways. You can't keep playing, not even in our faces. But to be honest with you, Dorit, you're playing in Kyle's face. You've been playing in Kyle's face for years, acting like you're her best friend, yes person, when you clearly don't really even like Kyle. And you keep playing like you want your friendship back and you want to be close and your kids call her auntie and blah, 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 blah. But the moment you had ammunition, you screenshotted it and you shared it with the world to throw her under the bus. Now, you might be like, oh, well, I don't have any allegiance to you anymore, Kyle. You said our relationship was exaggerated. Dorit, humble yourself because at the end of the day, the rumor was that you were having sex with her husband. So you got to have a little bit of thing we like to call perspective. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I thought about this. I was like, okay, if me and my best friend, and let's say at this point in time, we're both seeing people, but let's say at this point in time, we're both married. And there is a rumor that I am having sex with her husband. This is me putting myself in Dorit's position. In that particular dynamic, and let's say it's not true, I know it is my job. And this is the thing, this is if I'm fronting as this person's best friend, the way Dorit has been fronting. If it's, I don't know this chick, this is a different conversation. I'm putting it in the context of Dorit fronting in Kyle's face for the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 111 years, however long they've been on the show together, fronting like she's her best friend. If that is the case, in my personal opinion, the onus is on me to make sure the relationship stays intact, the friendship. And I'm going to understand, even if it's not true, do you need some space? Do you want to talk about this? Like, what is going on with you? Things might get a little funny for a bit because people can, and this is just my opinion, you can lie and be like, oh no, I'm confident, I'm secure, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm sorry. You're a human being. There's a rumor that your best friend is sleeping with your man. You're going to feel some type of way until 1,000%, 100%, it's absolutely not true. It's going to cross your mind. You're going to doubt. You're going to feel some type of way. And even if it's not true, sometimes life isn't fair. I'm not saying it's fair, but I think in the dynamic, it's kind of up to you to nurture that relationship more. So I think Dorit is actually dead wrong for this. And I think she's actually manipulating the situation because she needs a storyline and she needs relevancy. And this is her way, in my opinion, of trying to save her diamond. But Dorit been exposed herself because remember last season at the finale at Kyle's house when it was all exposed about Rinna and Erica and the publicist leaking all of this stuff and it was all exposed, right? What did Dorit say? She said, I know the two of you are friends. And I know they're friends, referring to like Erica and Rinna. And then she was talking about like Garcelle and Sutton and whatever. And she goes, but I'm on an island. That right there tells you everything you need to know about Dorit. She's only ever been out for self. So I see this situation a little bit differently than how it's been picked up in the media. Do I think Kyle was being manipulative? Yeah. She wanted an easier ride on the reunion. She didn't want more on her plate. She already said, we lied all season, just lie tomorrow. That's basically what Kyle said. They don't know we've been beefing this entire time. Let's just keep the lie. That's basically what she was saying. She wasn't trying to silence Dorit because the truth is, at any point in time, Dorit herself could have exposed what was really going on in her relationship with Kyle, but she didn't either. They had some confessional moments. Oh, Kyle, oh, oh, what's going on? Like, whatever, some very surface crap. But clearly there was a lot more deeper stuff going on that Dorit didn't bring up either. So it's not that Kyle was trying to silence Dorit. Kyle was just like, let's rock the way we've been rocking, lying. But because Dorit needed a storyline and relevancy, and she knows that Kyle is the odd woman out, she wanted to, have some receipts to talk about, have some text messages. So to be honest with you, this situation makes me look at Dorit way worse than I look at Kyle. Way worse. Okay, let's keep going. Where did we stop? Okay. They don't even know we are going through a hard time, so I don't see the need to bring it up there. I should have said something sooner, but I honestly haven't been strong enough. But relationships and you are more important to me than the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I don't feel like bringing it for them at our expense, especially when we have enough battles to handle as it is. Anyway, I would like to sit down and talk after we get through tomorrow. Maybe have lunch or dinner when you can. If you want to talk before tomorrow, I am around. I am around. I would give anything not to go and have to do this. I don't know how much longer I can do this show. It's so toxic and creates so much anxiety for me. Anyway, let me know if you want to talk. XX. Whew. Girl. Girl. I can't believe I'm saying it, but it does when it comes to Ding Dong Dorit. I'm on Kyle's side in this particular beef. I'm on Kyle's side. I'm Team Kyle with this one, guys. Because number one, like I said, if you have blood running through your veins, you're going to feel some type of way. If the entire world is laughing and speculating, and I put my hand up because I talk about this when it to Beverly Hills this rumor too, because we talk about rumors, we talk about blind items, we talk about the blogs. It's just a part of it, right? That your so-called best friend is sleeping with your man. That I get that. I get that. And to be honest with you, I understand Kyle being like, listen, we lied the entire season. I'm just checking in to make sure we're still planning to lie tomorrow. That's basically what Kyle said. That's not silencing. That's not manipulating. That's just saying, we on the same page? Dorit, you're a snake. You're a snake. And let's watch her and Erica, okay? Here we go.
Here is the text Kyle sent Dorit the day before the reunion to try and silence her. Dorit says the text was manipulative and calculated. Here is the text Kyle sent Dorit the day before the reunion to try and silence her.
Basically trying to silence me. It was so manipulative. It was so... She sends me a text yesterday, basically trying to silence me. It was so manipulative. It was so calculated.
It's like a novel, bitch.
Thank you.
What the Hi, I've been wanting to reach out because I know we're in a weird place. Of course, some of the interview comments hurt my feelings and creative issues. They always do. I don't want to lose someone else in my life over a TV show. They don't even know we are going through a hard time, so I don't see the need in bringing it up there. I would like to sit down and talk after we get through tomorrow.
How would you feel if you got this message?
I would feel manipulated.
Okay, you said on Watch What Happens Live, I got eviscerated. I love Kyle, but fair is fair.
Yes, I did say
Okay,
that.
this is exactly my point. Fair is fair. This is the reunion.
I hear you. I understand exactly where you're coming from, and I hate every moment of it.
Oof. So what do you guys think? Put it down below. Whose side are you on? Are you on Ding Dong Dorit's side and she's saying that Kyle is manipulative and calculated? Or are you on Kyle's side and you're just like, no, chick, we both lied the entire season. We both were not honest about what was going on with our friendship. I was just making sure we're continuing the lie tomorrow because I got a lot to combat anyway. Or are you on neither of their side and you're just like, they both need to go and it's time for both of them to stop lying? They both are tired. So put it down below and let me know what you guys think. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to Kyle and Morgan. Okay. This is according to